Have you ever wondered where the problems in the world today would exist if we had deeper connection to ourselves, others, and the environment and acted from that place? Welcome to the Conscious Action Podcast with your host, Brian Berneman, who believe that connection is the key to taking conscious action as individuals and creating a better world. We are here to raise awareness and inspire meaningful action by sharing stories, knowledge, and conversations with thought leaders and change makers. From sustainability to well-being and everything related to conscious living, our mission is to empower you to be the change that you want to see in the world. Welcome, everyone, to a new episode of the Conscious Action Podcast. I am Brian Berneman, your host. And for this episode, I wanted to talk about the importance of finding the right experiences, the right practices that can support each and every single moment in our lives, how to be well. So this came about because I've had a few different conversations with some of my clients around changing the different practices at some point. Because when we find something that really supported us for a really long time, perhaps, or even for a while, we want to continue with those different practices, therapies, or, whatever that looks like. We want to be able to continue because we see the benefit. When we are able to understand that as we change, as we perhaps become better in our well-being, as we heal, as we explore different aspects of ourselves, perhaps we need to explore different practices. This is what makes this journey really interesting, because it's not just one thing that works. Perhaps there's one thing that continues. Perhaps there's one practice that we do for our entire life, or multiple practices that we explore in our entire lives. And we're also needing to be open to new and different practices, new and different perspectives, new and different traditions. Because we want to keep on expanding, we want to keep on growing, we want to keep on developing in whichever way that is what we want for our own lives. So I know for myself that some of the practices that I started doing when I was a teenager, I still do them. Not every single day in the same way, because I have found what works for me in every single moment based on my energy levels in that day, my physical body, the way that my mind is, during those days. So I've been able to understand, okay, these practices, I do it in this way each and every single day because that's supportive. And then through the years, I have found that different moments required a very different approach. So sometimes I approach things more from the physical body. Sometimes I approach things more from a meditation, mindfulness practice, different practices. Sometimes I approach it through some energy work, different energy work, different practitioners, because they're all different as well. So when we allow ourselves to explore how each moment we are different and what is it in that moment that's going to be beneficial for us, then we can show up in that way. When we are perhaps too closed down because something has worked and we believe that that will be the thing that will keep on working, then we're not allowing ourselves to keep on exploring. That, as I said, that practice might still be beneficial. And it's not that we need to stop it. It's just that we need to become more present, more aware, more mindful to understand in each and every single moment, each and every single day, what is it that is going to support our well-being? What is it that is going to allow us to become more present? What is it that is going to allow us to become more balanced, more resilient, able to dance with whatever it is that the universe or this world is throwing at us? How we're able to do that will be different each and every single time. So the more that we're able to trust our bodies, our inner experience, our mind as well, to understand what's good for us, then we're able to actually sustain this journey of personal development, or however we want to call it. So I do encourage you to be open. Be open to change, be open to something different, and be open to something that seems to be the same, because the same practice will never be the same. We keep on changing, therefore the practice will be different. This is one of the things that I keep on telling a lot of my students that come to the same class every single week, that even though it seems that what we're doing is the same, it's never the same. We are always different. Therefore, the practice will always be different. Some days, some of the practices are beautiful, relaxing. Some days, some of the practices are more challenging and we need to endure them, and we need to perhaps be more disciplined or put more effort into it. And some days everything just flows really nicely. So when we allow ourselves to navigate that, that's great. And this isn't just about, like a yoga practice or a meditation, mindfulness practice. This is about how we are doing everything in our lives. When someone goes to work, as an example, you can use that. And I have talked in plenty episodes on the podcast that you can check about using work as the space for your personal development. We can use what we are doing every single day. And even if what we are doing seems to be the same every single day, we are different. Therefore, what we are doing is different. How we are doing it is different. How we are approaching that moment can be different. And we can use that to our personal growth. So the more that we're able to understand what's sustainable, and sustainable sometimes means to allow ourselves to trust, to go with the flow, and not to resist so much. So if the river is, like flowing that way, just allow the boat to go in that way. Sometimes we need to create a little bit of a resistance because things might be moving too fast for our well-being or our nervous system to catch up. But we need to be able to understand how to move forward. So I do encourage you to see where you are right now and see what is beneficial for you at this moment. Is it beneficial to sit, to close your eyes, meditate? Is it beneficial to go for a walk? Is it beneficial to do some work? Is it beneficial to do something more creative? Is it beneficial to go and be with someone else? What is it that at this moment is beneficial for you? And if you do that every single day, every single moment, then you're going to be able to sustain that growth, that development, that well-being that we all want. So let me know in the comments, what have you changed in your journey? What have you discovered through your journey? Have you been able to allow yourself to change and to find different ways of being and different practices? As always, thank you for being here, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye!
What did you like the most about this episode? Take a moment to think about what change you can make in your life today.
Share your conscious action on social media using #ConsciousAction and tagging @ConsciousActionNZ so we can celebrate your impact on the world and create a ripple effect.
One easy action we would love for you to take right now is to share, like, and subscribe to this podcast. This will help us get these messages out into the world and inspire more people to take conscious action in their own lives, contributing to the better world we hope for.